Welcome in to Two Country Home. So today is the end of the first week of December, so it's been another week. Thought we'd bring you through and show you how things are progressing. So you can see the kale is doing real well, looking really nice. Both the curly kale and the Russian red kale is doing well. Our Chinese cabbage is looking really nice, and actually these two are ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and pull one of these out right now. What I like to do is just kind of pull down these outside leaves, and then you can kind of expose the your cabbage. And then I like to take a knife and just kind of cut right above there, come across. And there you go. Nice beautiful head of Chinese or Napa cabbage. I'm going to go ahead and pull two of these today because we're going to go ahead and be sharing one of these with a couple friends of ours. So you get those leaves down, come in, make you a nice cut. Of course, all these leaves will take to the compost, of course. There you go, another really nice Napa cabbage. Very dense, so it should be really nice. So as you can see here, our potatoes are doing well. I had put this stick here because, well, we had a frost, a hard frost earlier this week. So we covered this with a blanket, and it seemed to have they seem to have survived. And that's kind of why I planted them in this method. Here the parsnips are doing really well. No, they put on a lot of growth. So as like I said, we had a hard frost, and with that comes this. So as we talked about, the green beans aren't going to make a frost. They just won't survive. So they're completely done. No, they're not going to come back. They're finished. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and incorporate this into the soil and get this bed ready to plant out either potatoes in the spring or possibly some English peas. Well, similar as you can see here, our papayas they're no more. They've we got down to 31 degrees for about an hour and a half, and they just can't take it. So we'll go ahead and get these out of the bed today as well. We'll go ahead and leave the root. We'll just get them cut above and take them to the compost. Nothing will go to waste. And this should open up some light for these carrots that have needed some light. Our romaine lettuce did fine through the frost. A little bit stressed, but it should be fine. And actually, the frost helps some things as it goes along. And again, the climbing beans, they're finished. There's no there's no way they come back from that. It's just ended them, so as we talked about, we had planted this curly kale in here in anticipation that at some point these would go away, and well, now it has run in the bed. So we'll go ahead and get this bed prepped as well for either in a month or so potato planting, or we may put some English peas here since I have the trellis. We'll see. One thing that the frost doesn't bother is carrots. So carrots, I didn't notice it at all. These are really, getting 6-8 inches tall, so that's nice. It didn't bother them any at all. Nor this bed of carrots, obviously, did just fine here. Cold weather doesn't affect oregano. It survives. It's perennial here, so it survives year after year. No, we still had a few beans left on here. I was hoping to save some seed, but now, yeah, it's done. So we'll get that cleaned up. Here, the cold weather didn't hurt the collard greens transplants. Even though they're small, they did fine. Made it right through. Parsnips here as well. No issues, and probably sometimes it does help with the little weeds in the bed because they do freeze out. So no worries there. No problem with the celery. It does just fine in light frost as well. Here our beets survived. No stress on them, and actually our sunflowers they make it through a frost here. They're kind of perennialized. Carrots again. Radish did all right through the cold weather. No stress on them. Onions though always do well through the cold weather. Here our cabbage survived fine, and as you can see here, they're starting to form a small crown on some of these. So they're well in process, starting to fill out. They should fill out and be touching each other in this bed, and that's kind of why I spaced them like I did. Here our root crop bed, it does well in the frost. Beets fine, rutabaga. Turnips did all right. These are getting a little long in the tooth, and actually some of these here, this one here, I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. So that's a nice white turnip, and this frost should make it a little sweeter. We're going to go ahead and this will be going in the soup pot later today. So that'll be nice to have a fresh turnip in there. And our lemons came through fine. We're going to go ahead and I think get these pulled as well later today. And our potato here in a bucket, it was covered, so this is not from frost damage. This is just, it's getting to the end of its life cycle. It's only been about 70 days, so a little early. The Moringa tree, as you can see here, Moringa's sort of a tropical type of tree, and some of these outward branches, they didn't like the cold either. You can see all the leaves are brown. Some of the ones up on top are still green, so the tree's still, tree's very much alive. But I was just waiting for some of these pods to get ready, and then we're going to go ahead and trim some of this and keep it more vertical. But yeah, it didn't like that. It didn't like that weather either. It just doesn't do real well in the cold. I think I'd just take one of these and show you what this looks like. I'm not sure if everybody's seen. Maybe on the inside if I can get through this here, but there's what the inside looks like. That's what you're looking for, a nice dense head on your cabbage. Here our small carrot bed, they did fine. Over here our round carrot bed, it survived as well with no issues on that. Our comfrey, it does well. It takes a frost or a fairly hard freeze here. It doesn't seem to bother. The heat bothers comfrey more than the cold. Yeah, the figs, you know, they got burnt back as they will, but they'll come back in the spring. There's no problem with them returning. It's normal for them. They just look a little sad. But yeah, these carrots are doing nice as well. The various potatoes we had in the beds, they're done. They got nipped by the frost. But yeah, these carrots are looking good here. And we planted out some radish mix and cover crop mix, turnip mix here, and that's just now starting to come up. So that'll be all right to keep some of the leaves out. But yeah, it's kind of sad day, you know, with the beans, but that's why we put them in early, and we were harvesting as much as we could. And yeah, you know, you have to plan for that happening. Not worry about it. You know, you're going to get a frost, and you just pull them out and take the green matter material, the compost, and get the bed ready for some other planting. So it's to be expected. We had a few with our landscape as well. Our lantana, it gets frostbitten. We cut it back to the ground. It'll come back in the spring. So, you know, it's not a loss. It's just the way it is. So just thought I'd bring you through, show you after hard frost or freeze what the garden looks like, and the things we thought wouldn't make it, well, they didn't, and everything else is looking good. So hope if you like this update, you'll continue to support our channel, and we'll see you later from Two Country Hunt.